9. D. Anyone wants me to discuss 9th question? 9D. Yes, 9th. Answer is D. If anyone wants me to discuss it. So in option 1, please explain. Okay, what were the major flaws in the decision to launch the instant cake mix? It's already there that they launched without that, market survey. So of course it is very important thing. And then if you look at the surveys result of these 150 customers, you will see it very clearly that it was launched during the wrong time. Why the cake mix was having egg, and 35 people out of 150 they have said that I did not buy the product as it contains egg and I don't consume egg during the festival season. In the first 17 also I did not purchase the product as it contains egg. Just add it, it is 52 out of 150 if I am not mistaken. People saying that the egg is one of the major reason. So that's the reason 10D, 2 and 4. Why 1 and 3 is not there? The management launched the product without proper R&D. R&D to happened. The director R&D also, like he to green signaled it. So you're mistaken. The marketing guys, they didn't green signal it. Then the third, the management did not advertise the product. No, it is no one mentioned it did not advertise the product. It is mentioned that they did advertise a lot. Like it is mentioned here also somewhere. Or yeah, second para. However, the director marketing opposed the idea, saying there was not enough time to conduct proper market research and to advertise extensively. Here it is mentioned like did not advertise the product. So that's the reason. 10th, yes, D is the answer. 10D, anyone has a doubt, I can discuss it. 10th question, 10D. Why not C? Why not C? Okay. So the first difference between D and C, only 1, 2 and 3 and only 1 and 3 is of 2. The conclusions about the director operations that emerge from this situation are the director, you want to include the director operations was responsible for the failure of the product. No, the finally management passed it. It is mentioned that the director operations, he tried his level best and convinced the management, but the decision also lies with management. Here, by this conclusion is saying that, director operations were responsible for the failure of the product, means it is putting the entire blame on him. That's the reason, the second the director operation was responsible for the failure of the product is not, that conclusive. If it was mentioned that he was somewhere responsible, yes, but was responsible. So that's the reason. 11th. Yes, E is the answer. 11. 11E. Yes, anyone has a doubt, I can discuss it. 11E, if there is a doubt. Any student has a doubt regarding the 11th question. The quarterly meeting, the management analyzed the results of the feedback survey recently conducted to assess customers' reactions to the recently launched instant cake mix. The survey results are in front of you. Customer feedback and frequency. Frequency is the number of people, saying that. So the following possible recommendations have been made. Anyone, D and E are close. D and E are close because of 2, 3 and 3, 2, right? So because D and E, the only difference is both start with 4 and ends with 1. It's just that 4, 3, 2 and 4, 2, 3. So let's read, which is a more important recommendation between 2 and 3. Heavy discount should be offered on the instant of cake mix to boost sales. The instant cake mix should be advertised aggressively during the Christmas and New Year season, as that is the time when people would buy the product. But yeah, this is a recommendation, the Christmas, New Year, but it's not the Christmas, New Year time. Like they'll have to wait for some time. And the heavy discount is a more immediate action. That's the reason 2 is being preferred. 2 is being preferred over 3 in terms of numbering of importance. Why? Because of urgency and 1 being a little later. 12th, 12th, C, yes, 12C is the answer. The most important reason for failure of instant cake mix out of what? Out of the survey, of course, the survey result. So 17 plus 35. 17 said it contains egg, that's the reason did not purchase. 35 said because of festive reason, season, no egg, you know. 12C. Okay. Just like home, 13 to 16, is it done? 13? You want me to wait? You have to ask me to wait. I'm like an express train. Wait, yes, Anshul is saying, but yeah, some students are there with the bank. Akriti Patel, 13B, yes. 14A, yes. 15C, yes. 16C, yes. Akriti, you have done it. You have won yourself one washing machine, latest LG washing machine. Okay, 13th. We have discussed 13, but okay, let's wait for some time. In the meantime, are there some Django's who have gone to 17 to 20 as well? If there are some really fast people here, 17 to 20, that would be a delight. But okay, let's not push the buttons. 13, I have already discussed, 13B, 14A, 15C, 16C, but I'll wait. I'll wait for some time. I want to give some students time to read. Should I discuss? BACC, yes, the answer is BACC. Everyone is getting the answer in this. Looks like it's an easy set. I may not have to discuss a lot. A, B, C, D are option choices. A is if both A and R are there in the passage, and R is the correct explanation of A. B is if both A and R are facts in the passage, but R is not the explanation of A. C is if A is a fact, but R is not a fact. D is if A is not a fact and R is a fact. E is if both A and R are not facts. Facts means if it is mentioned in the passage. 13, 14, 15, 16. We'll discuss 16, don't worry. So you want me to discuss only 16, is it? How did Anand react to the changes proposed by Ray? How did Anand react to the changes proposed by Ray? Who is Anand? He is the head of operations. And, of course, we have read his paragraph that is mentioned that he was senior most employee known for his knowledge of food business. And that's the reason Ray's appointment resented him, as he was supposed to be the next CEO. Did not believe policy changes proposed by Ray would be beneficial when compared to the current strategies initiated by him. He felt the lack of certain facilities would aggravate employee precision levels and lead to poor productivity. So how did he react? Of course, we all know how did he react. Anand was doubtful about the changes proposed by Ray in the long-term strategy and daily function of the restaurant. It's already mentioned there that a lack of certain facilities would aggravate employee frustration levels and lead to poor productivity and all those things. So of course, he's doubtful about the changes proposed by Ray. It is mentioned, that he did not believe the policy changes proposed by Ray would be beneficial. So A is a fact mentioned. Then the second, Anand has been in the food business for a long time. Of course, it is already mentioned, and was aware that changing strategies and operations were not an easy task. Where is he saying that changing strategies and operations were not an easy task? He is saying that the strategies adopted by this guy Ray was not right. He is nowhere, it is mentioned that Anand has been saying that the changing strategy, was aware that changing strategies and operations are not an easy task, like this too general. So of course this R is not a fact. C means if A is a fact and R is not a fact. 16. Anyone else wants me to discuss 13, 14, 15? My friends, 13, 14, 15. Any of you guys? 15 also. Sanchi is saying. Okay, we are discussing 15, don't worry. What were the policy changes directed by Ray? So it is already mentioned Ray had directed changes in the kitchen area and food preparation and introduced the concept of breakfast. It's already mentioned. If you read the third para, it is mentioned, convert half 3,000 square feet food kitchen into a restaurant, blah, blah, blah. So the first one, Ray had to change the kitchen area and food preparation, and then the breakfast house, it is mentioned that as a revenue generating measure, he directed the restaurant to start the breakfast. So this is a fact. Then the second, the restaurant was under tremendous financial strain. Nowhere it is mentioned it was under tremendous financial strain. Nowhere it is mentioned. Cost cutting, if you see the second para, Roy was given a clear mandate, cut down on additional cost and adopt revenue making policies. Name or read any line where it is showing that it was under tremendous, big word. I told you these are very important things. Preceding words, tremendous financial strain. And he did not feel that cost cutting measures were required. Nobody, he was given the mandate. This is the board told him. So 15, the answer is C. That means A is a fact, R is not a fact. You want me to discuss 13, 14? Anyone wants me to discuss 13, 14? 13 is B, 14 is A. No. 17 to 20. Dipti, if you can post 22002. 22002. Answer to 17 to 20. 17C wrong. 18 wrong. 19 wrong. 20 wrong. Kanchi all wrong. It's okay. Take it sportingly. 17B, 18B, 19C, and 20D. Ishita right. I think Ishita Rai has the solution sheet or maybe the keys. Who knows? But she's right. And so is Akriti. And Ria's 20B is wrong, otherwise all correct. Others take some time to read it. We are posting one additional handout. Don't worry, we won't do all cases in that. We'll just do two easy Case is LAT 1022002 has to be posted. Sumit is posting it. Okay. Be patient. In less than few seconds, we'll be having another handout. Zero two post. 02. The file has been shared on the chat box, and I want to do the first set, Aranya Sharma's case. Seventeenth. D is the answer. If anyone wants me to discuss it, I will discuss it. And those who have already done this, 17 D, 18 E, no 18 E is not the answer. 19 C is yes, 20 C is not the answer. 18 B is the answer, right answer. Anyone wants me to discuss 17? Answer is D. So very clear case. You know how it is a very clear case. Basically, Napster, of course, there is something known as music rights. So without caring for the music rights, he is openly sharing, music online. So this is the reason why the company's record label sued him. And that's the reason he got closed. So I hope you understand the case. It's not that Napster was doing a very good thing. I told you no breaking of rules and regulations, no crossing the moral, fiber, 100% moral. So in this entire story, like it is written between the lines. You have to read between the lines that Napster basically is doing what can be called piracy, and that's the reason he gets sued and he gets closed. And of course, it is also mentioning the changing landscape of the music industry and how people listen to music also, that's the background. Okay, discuss 17, fine. The reason for the RIAA filing a case against Napster was, of course, Napster was carrying out illegal business by picking out individual songs from the albums of recording companies. That's the reason he got sued. Why else a professional organization will be filing a case? RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, just because the record labels perceived a threat. Because of that, investigative agency, a government investigating agency, do you think will file a case? Of course, right. सोचने से किसी के थोड़ी you perceive a threat. So it's a perceive a threat means business wise you perceive a threat. Why will RI be interested? Only if the law is being broken. So the wide popularity of Napster also cannot be the reason. Napster entering into a partnership with Nutella, what it has to do with it. The Napster failed to succumb to the pressure tactics of like reason for IA filing a case against RI. Of course, piracy, this is happening legally. That's the reason they get shut. 18th, so 17th answer is D. 18th answer is B. Yes, Anshul, 18th answer is B. The closure of Napster could have been avoided if Napster had legitimized the business along with the record companies. They were doing piracy. How can record labels allow it? The record label is making music so that anyone who's buying that music, listening to the music, they get paid. This guy, Napster, he is doing a complete illegal thing. So of course the closure of Napster could have been avoided if he stopped doing the illegal thing. 19th, 18th, the answer is B. 19th, why not 18E? Napster had abided by the rules laid down by RIAA. How they would have abided by the rules? The business model of Napster was only free sharing of music, where the record labels, why will they allow something? It's like, that's the reason they have mentioned in the last paragraph. It is mentioned that clearly the labels couldn't have made a deal with Napster even if they wanted to. And they have mentioned some reasons for it, like it was not reasonable to expect to work with them as partners after challenging their fundamental business model. So, एक तरफ record companies हैं, and they have been in the industry for a very long time, and there's a way they're doing business. Someone comes and does a puppet of them and start off his own and is earning money also, then approaches them, now you do partnership with me. Is doing well in the sense that चोरी कर रहा है, उनका ही बेच रहा है, पॉप कर रहा है, फिर उनको ही जाके बोल रहा है कि आओ मेरे साथ आओ. That's the reason. 18E cannot be there. It's a very clear cut, case. 17, the answer is D. Shreya, 17, the answer is D. Why Napster was carrying out illegal business? That's the reason RIA filed a case. Now, why a case is filed? Some law has been broken. So, what was the law that was broken? That he was doing piracy. 19th. Bad boy rebel image. वही जो गलत काम हो रहा है, उसी के कारण क्या गलत काम हो रहा था? That it tried to be defined despite being found guilty of committing piracy. Piracy कर रहा था, तभी it was out in the open, ना? So the bad boy image. What is a bad boy image? Is that खुलेआम डकैती. So that's the reason. So these kind of, there'll be some cases like this case, which will be more like an RC, where you can't expect 100% accuracy all the time. So it's okay, take it with a pinch of salt. Some differences will be there. 19, the answer is C, we have discussed it. 20th, which of the following can be concluded from the passage? See, you cannot just select A. Napster catered to those who loved a particular brand of music and thus helped them to rediscover their love for music. That's a fact which is mentioned in the. That's a byproduct, or that's a byproduct. It's not the conclusion. Conclusion is very important. Why 20? The answer is D. Is because Napster, which envisaged a real business in partnership with record labels, was found guilty of committing piracy. This is the case, that what he was doing at that point of time was right. Now it's also the same. It's just that they can't file cases against so many people. Piracy is the most common thing. Especially you college goers really indulge in it. Like, how some of us indulge in chocolate excess cake. 20D. You want me to discuss any of these? 19th answer is C. Napster bad boy image, rebel image क्या है? That चोरी करेंगे तब भी एकदम खुलेआम करेंगे. So 19C because they tried to be defiant despite being found guilty of committing piracy. They had embraced the bad boy rebel image that their users enjoyed, though they knew that they had to make peace with the labels to have viable business. Like, so could have had a doubt in A between A and D. You know why? No, this is about 20. 19, yeah, C. Joined hands with Nutella. It didn't. It failed to make peace with the record labels. If you're not able to make peace with someone, bad boy image, no. Try to be defiant, like sounds bad boy, despite being found guilty. Try to destroy the image of the record label. They didn't try to destroy. They're using free music, even though they had to pay for it. So it didn't try to destroy the image. Okay, some people could have gone for E as well. So okay. Fine. The next one is interesting. Aranya Sharma. If it has been posted, if you can post one more time, Deepti. 002. 002 handout. 2, it has already been posted. 1D, 2D, 3C, and 4C. Yes, bravo, Charlie boy, Akash Singh. Good job. Good job. Now go to question 12 to 15. Those who have done the first case, go to question 12 to 15. That case. DDCC. Yes, Ishita, it is DDCC. 12 to 15. If you can go to 12 to 15, those who have solved. It was posted some time ago, just few minutes ago, and it is being posted again, right? Read it fast. Those who have done the first set, DDCC is the answer, and go to question 12 to 15. One E, no. Why? One D, we will discuss it. 2D, 3C. We'll discuss it. Athar and Kushi, we'll discuss it. Arvind Sharma, newly appointed HR head of Nirvana Limited, stock to Sainath Roy. It's already mentioned this Sainath Rao is a big idiot. Mentioned that he related to the chairman takes good advantage of his contacts, is very bossy and unethical to the detail, dislike of the worker. It's already mentioned that he is Ravan in the story. And Ram is Nand Kishore, trusted employee, 10 years in Nirvana, helping nature, blah, blah, blah. And then for the Nand Kishore caught him also, Sainath doing some chori. Okay, so one student is asking why 1D, sir? Okay, why 1D? Which one of the following is the best possible course of action to be taken by Aranya? Give orders asking Saina to resign from the company, ask Nandkishore to abide by the rules of the company and warn him, C, to discuss the matter with the chairman and leave it to him for decide, D, to find the truth by discussing with other workers of the company, E, to hire new staff as the existing staff will not be needed because of the merger. Okay, so if you see out of these five A, B, C, D, E, let's start crossing. E is Mahabogus. To hire new staff as the existing staff will not be needed for the, this is extreme. Like, why will this happen even? This like irrelevant totally. So E is out. C, to discuss with the matter with the chairman and leave it for him to decide. No, first, why he has been hired, Aranya Sharma, as the HR head? Like to find out the truth, discuss with other workers, find out the case. Like, अगर chairman को ही सब करना है तो इसको hire क्यों किया? You're getting the HR head, he or she, I don't know. And it's this person's duty to basically investigate the case and do things on his own, so that that Arun is going to be having all the facts and everything. So if she approaches the chairman, he will be cross questioning and she will Arun will have to present the case, his or her case. What is this person here? Called her. Okay, it's a lady. Fine. So D is the answer. And giving orders asking Saina to resign from the company. Okay, first you have to understand that a flash strike, what a strike is very dangerous. Whenever you read any case where there is some strike which is there, so the first priority of the company is to close the strike, like to finish the strike, so that things can return to normal. Otherwise, what will happen, there'll be a delay in the production. If the trade union, if there is a worker strike, so the production is not happening, there is going to be delay in the production, so it will affect the entire dealing supply chain. Plus, it will lead to revenue loss also. Plus, the buyers will also come and start dancing on your head and will go to others. So, if there is a strike, finish the strike. It is very important. So, ask Nankishore to abide by the rules of the company and warn him. Why? Nankishore has done nothing. Give orders asking Saina to resign from the company. That'll be too extreme right now. Also, he's related to chairman and he takes it to his advantage and blah blah blah. So that will be an extreme thing. First, even to suggest something like that, Aranya will be needing, a lot of facts and all. Two, 2D. Yeah, anyone having issue with 2D? Any doubt? 2, 3, yes, 3C, 4C. The answer is 2B, 3C, 4C. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Karan spoke to the next, very easy by the way, but if you have any doubts, you please ask. 2D, 3C, 4C. Aranya spoke to the chairman and has found that he's unpragmatically supporting Sainath. And she has found that Sainath is up to some certain malpractices in the company. She suspects him of siphoning of material to the company. What should Aranya do? Gather proof to show to the chairman and involve his seniors if needed be. Talk to the chairman and warn him that she will complain to the president. धमकियां और वगैरह ये थोड़ी कोई ऐसा मूवी चल रहा है. Why will she do something which is like not that dramatic? So of course gather proof, show to the chairman with the proof. If not, then involve the seniors. Nandkishore ko kyun chairman? Like why did she ask Nandkishore to talk to the chairman like that? She is the SR head. She is supposed to address the chairman. Guide the student union leader to gather proof against Saina. How can she guide the union leader to gather proof against Saina? That will look too, like what to tell you. It'll look too suggestive that she is against Saina. That's the reason she's asking the union leader to. She cannot appear as biased. That's the reason gather proof to show to the chairman and involve seniors if needed. It is like, right there in the middle. not extreme, like the right decision. 3C, 4C. Fine. I think everyone knows the answer to this. This set was easy. What about 12 to 15? Directions for question 12 to 15. C, A, C, D. Brilliant. Yes. Sejal Singh. Very good. You have done a good job. You mean 12C, 13A, 14C, and 15D. Is that what you meant, Sejal? If that's what you meant, you are right. Good job, my friend. Then you can do the second case of this another handout. Can you post another handout 3, which ends with 3? Wait, Shajal, don't do any set of this handout. We'll discuss it later. First, let's go to one more handout also. We'll discuss some cases of that as well. 12 to 15. Others, if they need time, read it. Soumya is saying 12. C. 13 is not C, 13 is A. 14 is also wrong for you. Soumya. Srijal Singh can download this third handout. Third handout, do the second case. Mr. Suri Verma. Mr. Suri Verma and enterprising young man with political ambitions. Anshul Pachauriya, CAPD. CA, not BD, it is CACD. CACD. A very simple case. And those who are to the third handout will do Mr. Suri Verma, the second case. Twelve C, 13A, 14B is not the answer, Khushi. 14C and 15D is the right answer. So who wants me to discuss what? 12C. Anyone wants me to discuss 12C? 12, the answer is C. Explain 14. If Ravi wants to identify those natural products that can be cultivated almost like cash crops on captive acreage, then dried and processed, which of the following will be the most important factor to be considered? Of course, cost involved, no? How it will affect the pricing and ultimate effect on the market. It's basically saying that earlier they were going to the forest and the tribals were, gathering the leaves and all those things. Now he's saying he will try to grow things like that, in his own land. So, of course, the costs will go up, and how it will impact the pricing of the product is very important. That's the reason C. If you thought A, effect of environmental degradation on his plantations. So this will like uh, the reason he is going only for this is na cash crop thing in a greenhouse kind of environment or whatever, so that there is no environmental degradation. Degradation. So it will be like handled. It will be. It's not that it will be out, like it will be managed. And availability of land for cultivation, additional cost. Of course, additional cost. All this will lead to additional cost because cash crops. Future of dried flower arrangement business is nowhere mentioned in the passage only. Bringing back the tribals who are collecting the material from the forest, how will they are going to the cities, and like anyways this will be limited, so they can't, like you can't be bringing all the tribals. That's the reason 14C. Any other? Any other question that you want me to explain? 12, 13, 15. 12, 13, 15. Are you guys tired? Should we call it a day, or we should go to the third handout? And what is the answer to question 15? D. Which of the following could be a major reason for the possible downfall of floral magic? Shrinking of forest area, na, which is leading to tribal going out and everything. Like that's the main reason. That's the reason 15D. Do you guys want to continue, or like do you want to call it a day? 6. Okay, very good. This is it. Navneeti, very inspiring. 6B, 7C. Sorry, 7 is not C. 8D. E, no. 8D, no. 8D is not there. 9E, yes. So 9E is right and 6B is right. But good job. Try for the other two. Try for the other two. B, A, D, E. 8th is wrong. Otherwise, you are right. Anshul. Shreja Singh. B, A, B. Babe. Looks like Shreja is missing the babe. No. 8th is wrong. Try. 8th one is wrong. What is the answer to 8th? Those who have not, you have to read the Mr. Surya Verma, an enterprising young man with political ambitions, has approached the market branch. This case. And 6B is right. 7A is right, but 8th. No, Navnidhi. 8th answer is not right. 9E is right. 8th. Which of the following actions on the part of the bank would have reduced the loss for the bank? Anshul, wrong. Sorry, you guys. I've anyways posted all the answers. 8, very few is BAEE. Brilliant. Jasprit Kaur. Good. BAEE. She has already given the right answer. 6B, 7A, 8E, 9E. BAEE. So 8th was confusing for some. You want to explain the 8th? Question number 8. Okay, so which of the following actions on the part of the bank would have reduced the loss for the bank? Liquidating the collateral security given by the company. There was none. That's the reason there is this line in the fourth paragraph, in the last paragraph, first line. Mr. Rakesh informed the matter to the assistant general manager and shot notices to the company asking them to make good the loan amount. Once they're asking to make good the loan amount, whatever collateral security was there or not there was already gone. Then only they are saying that okay, pay the loan. Otherwise, they would have adjusted, or they would have adjusted anyways. So, like, which of the following actions on the part of the bank would have reduced? That question is asking, but this thing is already done. Liquidating the collateral security. If there was collateral security, they have, used it, the bank people considered it. If there was none, they would have asked him to pay the entire loan. That's the reason the company asking him to make good the loan amount. That's the reason one was not there. Second, confiscating the chemicals, but वो तो बर्बाद हो गए, लिखा ही है, have expired, making them worthless and hazarded. Fourth or fifth last line. Attaching person तो नहीं होगा वो. Attaching personal property of Mr. Verma. Mr. Verma was not there on the paper only. So how Lakshmi, his wife, was. You cannot do anything to Mr. Verma. So Mr. Verma's property, attaching personal, as is in personal mentioned, personal property, Mr. Verma. So none of these 8 is the answer. Any other doubt? Fifth answer. Fifth, I have not asked you to do fifth. I have asked you to do Mr. Surya Verma. 6 to 9. Fifth has already been covered. It was there in that handout which we covered in the last class. So don't do 1 to 5. It is already covered in the last class. Huh, by me? Mr. Surya. Anyone who wants to go for question 6, 7, 8, I have discussed 9, then please ask. I will be more than happy. Others, read Sanjay Kapoor. This is the last set, okay, for today. Question 16 to 18. Question 16 to 18. Question number 16 to 18. Sanjay Kapoor, the Chief Minister of Swayam Land. Please post the third handout on Telegram. Someone is asking. Yes, Kanchi, it is happening. And ninth answer, Soumya Gupta. Ninth answer is E. Why? This guy was bold because he's going against the likha hai na, last paragraph. But despite the knowledge that he's going to antagonize the education minister of the state, that he's ready to go up against him. So he's bold because he did the responsible thing. So 1 and 3. Why not enthusiastic? Enthusiasm, like this is a serious job. He's doing a serious job. So he's doing the right thing. So responsible and bold, 1 and 3. You want me to discuss question 6 and 7? I can do that. Otherwise, please do question number 16 to 18. Kanchi, why you are not able to download it from the chat window? The last ones to go. Question 16 to 18. Varun is asking, please explain. Please explain what? Please explain 7. Okay. Which of the following could have given an early warning about the misappropriation of funds at Lakshmi Chemicals? First, absence of Mr. Verma's name on the company records. ये तो पहले भी उनका नाम नहीं था ना, मतलब अचानक से कैसे warning तब मिल जाएगा? Second, Mr. Verma had approached the bank for loan during the election period just because he was having the account and for 3 years the business was doing good. It is mentioned in the first paragraph. So if you are approaching during the election period, that is not sufficient enough. The election period है तो Mr. Verma पक्का चोरी करेगा. ये पहले से तो नहीं, you can't assume. So 1 and 2 both are knocked out. Third, absence of any transactions in the account after the funds were drawn. Yeah, this is a very important thing in a current account. So like you're gonna have a current account, your proprietorship firms or your company's current account will have a lot of transactions. It is mentioned here that 5 crore आया at one go he withdrew the entire 5 crore within 1 week and उसके बाद कोई transaction next couple of months से नहीं हुआ. That's reason A only 3. 6, 7, 8, 9, those students have done it. Please 16 to 18. 16 to 18 and this is the end for today after this. 16 to 18. Question number 16 to 18. D, yes. and 17B, yes, and 18, 18th, all of you are wrong. DBA, yes, DBA, Siddhant, good job. Good job. DBA. DBA. Let's discuss this 18th question because it is wrong for Anshul as well as Navnidhi. So let's talk about 18. If Bright Shine agrees to revise the tender to meet the new security and liability norms to provide full compensation in case of disaster, then which of the following is the least important aspect that Sanjay would discuss with the cabinet members? So, in this entire case, the entire issue is of the protesters have asserted that proper security norms and liabilities have not been taken into account by the government in its deal with the company. So this is the crux of the entire case. So now you have understood why they have a problem, proper security norms and liabilities. Now the chief minister has to discuss with the cabinet ministers which land to provide to the company to set up the plant. Why will he discuss which land? This is like too how to say? It's too specific. Like कौन सा land ले रहे हैं ये सब इतना मतलब why the cabinet other cabinet minister why the health minister and all will be bothered with कौन सा land कहाँ ले रहे हैं आप. So it's not very important. To provide protection to the plant from nexus and insurgents, this become a political issue. No? So the entire cabinet will be like, okay, because a nuclear power plant, nexus insurgents, if they get hold of it, anything big can happen. So it's having that buzzer to discuss with the other cabinet minister. To discuss the compensation to be provided by Bright Shine to the citizens of Soyamland in case of mishap. Again, very important from political point of view. Societal point of view. D, to discuss the amount of power deficit, so they can say there will be power deficit, this will help it. Again, all the cabinet ministers, these are important political things. No? E, the ways and means of providing compensation in case of mishap, again, is very, very important. So A is a very specific thing, which land you will, kahan, kitne ekड़ le raha hai ye. Yes, compensation will be ना उनको भी तुम देखते नहीं पूछा जा सकता है कि वो ऐसा होगा तो बोलेंगे नहीं हाँ वहाँ compensation मिले. Don't you read in the newspapers also anything happens it is just about compensation दे रहा है कि नहीं सबसे पहले. Anyone dies, anything happens, so compensation is a very big thing. In question say Bright Shine will which question? Navnidhi, I don't understand what you are asking. Yeah, the 18th one. If Bright Shine agrees to revise the tender to meet the new security and liability norms to provide full compensation in case of disaster, then which of the following is the least important? So you're saying why E? The ways and means of providing compensation. Full compensation is there, but the ways and means of providing, that also becomes important. Ways and means. How they will be providing to the beta or BV or what will be the time frame and all those things. कहने को तो बोल देंगे पूरा आपको पैसा मिलेगा, but process has to be laid out. 16 to 18, any doubt? Yes. Yes, you're right. Absolutely right, Abhilash. 16 to 18, anyone has a doubt? If you don't have a doubt, all the best. We'll discuss more decision-making handouts next week. We'll do at least 2 more classes. And I'll ask Divi Joshi sir also to, because he takes decision-making classes. Last year also he had taken decision-making classes. So I'll ask him also to take 2 classes next week. And we'll be providing more handouts. So once, what I'll be doing also is, I'll be telegramming you a lot of handouts and the solutions of decision making, so that it helps you in the preparation for exam. Anyone has a doubt to ask? Otherwise, we are done for today. All the best. Sleep tight. BDA 16 to 18 was the last one that we discussed. Others we'll discuss later. 16 to 18 DBA. Thank you guys. Take care. All the best.